Okay, I find it interesting that I'm talking primarily to men, because this really is all about men, what not to wear. So ladies, lady, does your husband ever come out of the bedroom looking like this? Or men, do you do this? And then when you dress up, you kind of get it a little more classy and you have a look like this. Figure out where do I stand before? Over here. So my husband is not quite this challenged in the way of dressing himself, but he does rely on me, and if you wear something other than jeans and a polo shirt, we go through the same routine every time. Honey, does this go with this? So I decided if I'm going to be his fashion consultant, I really need to do some research and figure out what it is that is appropriate for men to wear. So I did research, I found out so much, and so if I'm going to be the one doing his shopping, and men, you would appreciate your wife knowing this as she goes out and shops for you, because you know much of the stuff I'm sure is common sense to you, but everything up here I learned. I didn't realize this. So we're going to start from the necktie, and we're going to work our way down to the shoes. So the first thing is your necktie. Well, how do you pick a quality necktie? The experts tell me you go for 100% silk. And another thing to look at is if you flip your tie over, it should be 100% silk lined from the top to the bottom. Sometimes you have a tie that might just have the end of it silk lined, both ends, in which case you're going to end up with a very lightweight tie, and it's not going to lay very sturdy and look very high in quality. There's a couple things wrong with this picture. His tie actually extends below his waistband, and the experts tell me it should not extend below the waistband. If you look at the knot in his tie, it's very, very tiny. That's what you're going to get with a low quality tie. It's just not going to have enough bulk with it, and you're going to end up with something like that. Here's a better look. You can see the knot in his tie is a little more bulky. The tie is the right length. It falls right at his waistband. And the measurement on that tie at the widest part should measure around 3 inches. So when I go out looking for ties, I'm going to know what to look for. So, and there are 2 standard lengths to a tie, actually. There's a 60-inch and a 56-inch. So unless you're very tall or have a girth you need to get that tie around, you should go for the standard length tie of 56 inches. So now we're going to move on to shirts. And this is where I have the most problematic area, because I'm kind of a black and white girl. I kind of got crazy today with a red shirt. But I'm always telling my husband, put the white shirt on. The white looks better, just because I'm afraid of doing something wrong. And you can always go with the classic look, white, standard tie. Nothing wrong with that. But what the experts are telling, shake it up a bit. Get some patterns going, mix those patterns, and that's what's really scary. So I'm gonna step off into the mix the pattern realm and tell you what I learned about the 3 simple rules. When you are mixing patterns, if you have a bold shirt with a very large pattern, go with a really smaller pattern for your tie. An example here. And also, if you're looking at a shirt like this and it stripes, basically you look at the predominant color coming out, which is blue. And you pick out, and you treat it as a solid blue shirt when you're matching a pattern with it. So you also will want to pick out a tie with a matching blue in it in a different pattern. This is a really good example, because even though you can't really tell that color with how it's projected up here, the stripe in the shirt and the polka dot tie, the colors match very well. You've got the same color stripe as you do in the tie. This is a really good combination. And another example, I'm spending a lot of time on this because it was good therapy for me to get those patterns going. So here's a great example. You see the pink background. So you're picking up the pink in the tie. You got another pattern. I think I can do this. I think I can put these patterns together when I go shopping. One more example. This was a little tough for me. You got checks. And so when I stepped back, I saw the purple checks in the shirt. So you pick the predominant color in there, and you try to match it with your tie. This is a great example of checks and stripes. The purple in the tie matches the checks in the shirt. Looks great. when you're mixing stripes and stripes, that's a little bit tricky. You really have to, again, determine which pattern is going to be the bright and bold one, like the ties have the larger stripes, the shirt has very small, fine stripes. This is a good combination if you're trying to put stripes together. Okay. You just balance is the key, and the patterns should coordinate with each other and not compete with each other, so that's good advice that I learned there. So, and I see a really great example right there. You've got your small stripes, you've got a larger stripe pattern in your tie. Good combination. Here's another thing. If you choose to wear your suit without a tie, there's a couple things you got to know. If you look at the guy in the upper left corner, see how his collar is slouching down into his jacket. Well, how do you prevent that? You have to buy a higher quality shirt. Make sure that it's got a nice stiff collar so that it frames your face. And something else, did you know that they actually have plastic stays you can put in collars? I had no idea. I had no idea you could do that. That might help me out with some of my suits. So, belt. We're moving down to belt. I'm running out of time. Belt on the left, all that fancy stuff on there, get rid of it. That's not, if you want a nice quality, professional look, choose a nice, subtle black tie, or black, did I say tie? Black belt that's about 1 inch to 1.5 inches wide. The buckle should be subtle. That's a good look. Now, the age-old, I'm moving down to the pants, the age-old debate. Do you do flat front or you do pleated? Well, the experts are telling me that flat front is a little bit more fashionable. It makes you look thinner. It's very thinning. If you have all your pleats up front, guys, I think you tend to put a whole bunch of stuff in your pocket. You got all this room, let's put it in there. So you're gonna end up it's not going to make you look as thin as you maybe should. So, the hems of the pants, look on the left is not good. When you get your pants hemmed, make sure the front of your pants are just a little bit shorter than the back. Put it down, so that it settles down on your heel. That comes to the next debate about cuffs or no cuffs. What I learned was that when you have a flat front pant, you should not have cuffs on your pants. So pleated pants, okay with cuffs, but flat front pants, you should never wear cuffs. They come from 2 different styles and you shouldn't be mixing them. The next debate, socks and shoes. Guys, let's not let this happen. This is not a good look. Unless you have black shoes and a metal detector on the beach, you might go with that. But otherwise, that's not recommended. The experts, there's just really one simple rule with socks. They should match your pants. They don't have to be a solid color. They can be a little bit, they can have a pattern to it, striped paisley, but it has to match your pants. That's the best. I'm just going to skip quickly through the shoes. I was very happy to see that wingtips are still in style. They're a classic look, nice look for dress clothes. My husband's 20-pair-old wingtips. We can keep them in the closet for a while. And these are really almost a shoe you can wear with anything, black or brown. Obviously not with shorts or anything like that, but this is a classic you can wear with more casual clothes or dress up. In black, they tend to dress them up a little bit more. So that concludes the speech about what not to wear. I learned a great deal about how to shop for my husband. Hope you learned a little bit of something. Don't take it all too seriously. But now when I go out shopping at the mall and I shop for my husband, I'm not at the mercy of the salespeople who always tend to steer you towards the highest price tag instead of what really looks good on your husband. So actually, what I learned also is my husband can go from this look to this look.